Que pasa, gangstas?
Is it on?
Yeah.
Because I had yoga.
Is it on?
Is it on?
Oh.
Oh, hi guys. Look how wavy my hair is right now. I was telling Russ, you know why? Because I'm getting old and my hair is getting gray and it's curly as it comes out.
Curly and coarse.
Yes, like my soul.
Curly and coarse like your soul.
Yes. Hi guys.
What's up? What's happening? What's crack-a-lacking? What's going down?
I went to yoga today.
Yeah, I know it, man. And I was going to go work out with you, but...
You know what my favorite thing about our little show is?
Mm.
When we talk about health or yoga and then I take a hit off of my vape.
Yeah, yeah. I've been working out. Yeah, they're I don't know. I don't know.
They're addictive, dude.
Yeah, I don't even try to pretend like I'm going to quit.
Well, see, I am trying.
Yeah,
I just
know.
can't.
Everybody I know is like, I'm going to put this vape down. And I'm like,
You'll get there.
I'm not even going to lie to myself.
Yeah. Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Dude, so did you watch that whole interview that Kanye did?
I did. I did. So the Kanye interview, first of all, I love Kanye. I love all the rebels.
I know.
And it's because he's telling the truth. I mean, he really is. And the fact that he dressed up in a black Ku Klux Klan thing.
Is this his presentation?
Let me tell you, an artist is an artist is an artist.
Yeah.
Okay? That is what I see. When I saw it, and then he's got the white background, so the composition's really nice, the contrast is nice. He talks about how he wants it to look a certain way before the interviewer starts playing.
Well, you know, what's interesting, too, is that it was like they were in a hallway.
They're in a rent house. So he was this interviewer guy, whoever this guy is, I think he's a DJ, they said.
Or he's like a...
something, podcaster
online,
maybe.
Yeah.
So he went to interview him, and he was shocked. He thought there was going to be security and all this stuff, and it's just a little rent house in, like, Texas somewhere, and he was getting ready to go to Japan. So there was no security, there were no management, nothing. But you know what he talked about that was really fascinating? He does talk about the music industry a ton.
Yeah.
And he talks about how it is ran by Jewish people. And he's talking about it as facts. He's like, you know, until people... He said, and he says it in a very different way, but he said, until black people have their own black music businesses and they're not paying people to do their books and their paperwork and their everyone, but he's talking from a black man's perspective.
Right.
That we're owned.
Just like Prince was saying.
Yes.
You know, just like MJ said.
Yeah, just like that. And, you know, he's right. And throughout history, as soon as the black culture, black people as a whole would get like on their feet in America, government
the rug would taken out
and it's not he's not wrong about that.
No.
And he said take the he said this is my point, take the Jewish man out of the music industry and would we be successful? Would we be able to succeed on our own? He said, I just want it to be a black culture thing that we can stand on our own 2 feet, and we are hiring people, and the people that do our books are black people. And, you know, he's just trying to develop more of a stronger society for black people. Yeah, and I don't see that there's anything wrong with that. And he also...
it's the presentation, dude.
Yeah, well, it gets attention. He also he really is very religious. And he was talking about how, you know, he leans into what he feels the Holy Spirit is telling him to do.
Right.
And so he doesn't have to check with Christian, or he says something about Christian or two.
Really?
Yeah, he said that there's plenty of people in Hollywood that keep their children away from them because she exploits them.
Dude.
I know.
Witches.
And he's really freaked out. Of course, he's got like four kids with Kim.
How many kids does he have?
They have 4, but as far as I know, those girls only have one natural, and then they get surrogates for all
it's a big thing now.
Which cracks me up. I don't know why.
You can't mess up my body.
Oh my God, those bodies. And so anyway, but the thing is you can, because they just reconstruct them. So I don't know why they don't want to have kids. Everything on them's fake. Just reconstruct it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
they don't want to pop
they're not
something.
having kids in order to, I guess, to not deconstruct what's already been surgically constructed.
Well, yeah, they don't want to mess up.
They don't want to mess it up.
Shit. Yeah.
But he was talking about his daughter, because there's controversy about her being on a song with somebody. I don't know the whole story. But his girl, what's the one? She's
Northwest.
She's a rapper. You can tell she wants to be an
I
entertainer.
haven't even seen her.
She's all over Instagram, and she's super talented. And I like her because she makes fun of her mom a lot, which is funny. It's like she's even in on the joke. Like he's taught her that her mom is a joke, and I'm like, oh. But anyway, so he talks about keeping people away from Kris Jenner, and his whole point was like the entertainment industry that exploits you and that uses people. And he's like, you think I'm going to sit back and let them use my daughter? They tried to put her on somebody else's album.
Yeah.
And I'm a musical genius. That's what he said. You think I'm going to sit back? He's like, I am the music maker, and you're going to try and take my... Which he has a point, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, it was a fascinating interview.
Yeah, I caught a little bit this morning, and I was like, look at this guy. Mm-hmm. He had the swastika shirt on his website at first. Now he's got the black KKK robe.
He's like, his theory is like, put the evil out there, put it on blast.
Yeah.
Get the secrets out into the light, and everybody can chill out. Like,
interesting.
Yeah. He's the truth teller as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. No, I know you're a fan for sure.
I just like anybody like that that's going to push buttons because it is true.
Yeah.
And it does come out
disrupt
in the
the system a little
bit.
bit.
Yeah. Why not?
V for Vendetta.
Yes. Exactly.
Get him, yay.
So yeah, I mean I'm sure he has mental illness, but we all do.
Yeah,
we all do.
You never know what he's.
And if you think you don't have mental illness, then you're just a narcissist.
Then you think you're perfect, and nobody's perfect.
That's right.
Well, yeah, that was an interesting one, man. They had those. So as far as those Tesla protests go, they seem pretty peaceful.
Yeah, there's the newest guy?
So they said the 29th was like this big day where they were going to protest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What was that, yesterday?
I was going to say pretty peaceful because they're just rubbing their asses and stuff on like their doors and stuff.
Well, no, they were just regular people protesting
in the streets?
Yeah, at dealerships. They were protesting at Tesla dealerships. I did
see something about that.
So, which to me is kind of separated from the burning and the Molotov cocktails. I think those guys I think those guys were getting paid. But then you had and it was interesting because I was watching some of the protests, and they're all baby boomers. They're all super old people.
Really?
Yeah, like that watch CNN and will not watch anything else.
Yeah.
They're all just they seem like a lot of really old people that were stuck in their ways.
I know it. It's crazy.
You know? And they think that what CNN tells them is gold.
No.
It was crazy.
Bless their heart.
And the interviewer was trying to ask questions, and they don't know. They don't know. It's so interesting.
Why they're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, and this is the thing too, is like with Elon and his Doge team. Because I also watched that interview that Bret Baier did with the entire Doge team.
I loved it. That was great. Awesome. It made me feel really great. Yeah. I don't know how you can watch anything transparent like that and go, that's wrong.
Yeah, I don't get it.
They're not watching the interviews.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not watching the interviews. And that's the thing, too, is like Elon, he is seeing in depths of what is going on.
Don't let me forget
as far as
Elon,
the spending.
But go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, he's seeing things that these people protesting obviously don't see or are not going to see.
Yes.
It's just crazy.
The latest one he did yesterday, Elon did. You would love it. You need to watch the whole thing on that. But he's talking about finding the latest fraud with the immigrants.
Right.
I was telling you about when I came over and how they were given social security numbers.
Yeah.
And they would get this money, kickbacks, right? So he's talking about that. And in the crowd, there's a few people that start a ruckus. And he goes, say hello to Soros for me.
That's funny. Did he really?
Yeah, because I knew there would be a few Soros interrupters in here. Tell your boss I said hi.
That's awesome, dude.
So cool, right?
That's what it feels. It feels
the
like
bell's off. It's coming off.
Feels like a billionaire trying to go after another billionaire. You know?
Yeah, but my point is more that it's been these evil plots for a long time. Yeah.
Like, he's like, these people are probably getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, to disrupt.
And that he's out loud, people are saying Soros.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
out
cool
loud. Yeah.
because a lot of times nobody knew.
Yeah, I mean, he's tweeted a lot about George Soros too in the past.
Yeah.
You know, like, Yeah, it's pretty. He's got to be behind that, dude.
Well, and that's what they're finding out is all of that, and just like he was talking about, just real quick, if I can remember how he laid it out, but it was basically trying to change the demographics, because everyone's like, why would they do that? Why would they do that, right? Well, he's like, these people were being brought here, and it's not their fault. Again, it's not their fault.
They're fleeing.
They're being brought here. They are applying for food stamps and all of that because they are given a Social Security. I didn't realize that when you're made a legal citizen, I've just never thought about this. You're issued a Social Security.
Interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting.
I never thought about that.
So they were going ahead and issuing them this ID, and if you could get, or Social Security, you could get benefits with Social Security, all that you need, but then you didn't have to have an ID to vote. So it was, like we've always said, very manufactured, and it was all to change. And he said the places that Kamala went in were the main places they came to. I mean,
all the immigrants were at and stuff. Yeah.
Come on, guys, seriously.
Yeah,
come on.
It's ridiculous, dude. And he's, on the interview, he's like, we're a peaceful company. We've never tried to hurt anybody. Like, it's just so wild.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, what's really blows my mind, and now I think, probably Republicans are buying Teslas just to be, like that.
Right. To support.
But it is wild to know that the demographics that bought Teslas in the first place were the Democratic Party.
Dude.
I mean, it's not a lot of like incredible Texas guy Republicans going to buy Teslas.
No.
You know what I mean? So that's funny.
It's interesting to watch, dude.
It's really weird.
And that's like, it's like I was saying last time, like that's like propaganda right in front of your face. Like you're watching it in real time.
I know.
The propaganda.
And just like that post I was telling you about, one of my friends put this article about from the history, a point of view of a history teacher.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I saw a history professor, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, it's going to be propaganda because all the professors are brainwashed.
Yeah.
So she didn't even know that.
Right.
You got to start there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then his article is all about, and we do need to talk about the Trump thing, but all about like Putin and how Putin put himself in power and how Trump's doing the same thing and like history repeating itself.
He's trying to.
And I just wanted to shake her. I just put, that is propaganda. History is shaped by the shapers, right? So you can't just take everything just because the word history or history teacher.
Dude, we don't know shit.
We really don't.
We really
I don't know anything.
No.
Yeah, our side doesn't know
new
anything
every
either.
Day, dude.
Look at what they just
even with
discovered
history.
with the
with the pyramids. Dude.
We don't know jack.
No, we don't know shit.
And that's wonderfully empowering not to know, because
dude, I'm fascinated by that.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like massive coils, but who knows? Who knows what it could be?
Well, right.
But it looks like massive coils to produce energy somehow. It's got to be.
Spaceships.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Some kind of energy producer,
I think it's all
some generator.
End up being all of it. I think it's all going to end up coming to fruition. That the what is that called? Quantum physics and the spirit world and God and
the spirit world
and religion and aliens. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah.
Ghosts, all that. We wouldn't even have all these ideas if it wasn't there somewhere.
Right.
Why would we even think of this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been watching videos about magnetism and the earth and how like the earth and how the earth be magnetisms. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's fascinating.
Magnetisms?
That's the pyramid story is one of the biggest one, and I saw it come out a few days ago, and I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I was like, what else is going to come out about it? And just it's all over the internet now.
There's a lot of things they're saying that some relic was found recently.
Yeah. Well, there's that Göbekli Tepe, which is they found in Turkey, and it's a huge site that they're digging up right now.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a massive megalith, and they say it's even older. They say Göbekli Tepe is the oldest.
Göbekli Tepe.
It's the oldest megalith that they have found.
What's
so
a
far.
Megalith?
A megalith is like the pyramids. There's this massive stone structures that were built thousands and thousands.
That's what they're
ago.
called. You're so smart.
Megaliths. Yeah.
Okay,
like Stonehenge
I'm
is a
telling
megalith.
you, there's Ooh, I gotta look that one up because I like that kind of stuff too.
Göbekli Tepe, dude. That's a cool. It's in Turkey. It's massive. They're still.
And then there was that big earthquake in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yesterday or the day before, it was like 7.7.
Yeah.
And I think so far over 2,000 people have been killed.
Really?
I mean, it's interesting. Yeah. Just a combination of everything. The girl that I went to coffee with, we were talking about that. She's like, a lot of people believe that we're at the end times, and I was like.
Let me tell you something.
This is my favorite subject.
Let me tell you something.
She was all into it. Anyway.
That's
but yeah, the Trump thing. What do you think about Trump and Iran and the threats and the way he is proceeding with this presidency thing?
To be honest, to me, right now, he looks like Netanyahu's bitch.
Really? That's how you're seeing it?
I see it as him.
Because it's all Israel.
Kind of like they're the ones who want to bomb all these people.
But see, we need to figure out why Israel has this kind of power.
Yeah, I do. Well, and so this is interesting with that leak, that signal leak. Jimmy Dore had a good point, dude. He was like, they're talking about how it leaked and how somebody should be punished for that or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're not talking about the fact that they're talking about bombing Yemen. Apparently,
I thought that they had already.
And nobody's like, dude, what? It's one of the poorest countries in the world.
So Yemen hasn't been bombed recently.
No, they have been apparently.
Okay, yeah, I think because he did that like Yemen. A couple weeks ago or something. Yeah. I thought.
So
and Yemen doesn't have anything to do with the Israel war.
Yeah, they're fighting for Gaza.
Okay, so
from what I understand.
So they're saying that there's probably evil people in the ISIS, or not ISIS, but the people hiding amongst the
Yemenis people.
Because that's always what their excuse is.
There's apparently terrorists and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's the whole Middle East thing, dude, and that I just think he looks like Netanyahu's bitch, man, and it's really bothering me.
So I'm thinking like either. Because with this whole Iran thing, you said Putin pissed him off, which I don't really give a crap. He talks crazy.
Yeah.
And then, but when he's talking about, not like the war hasn't ended, and then he is pro-bombing these people, and I'm like,
what's going on?
What is going on?
You were the anti-war.
Like everyone's getting anxious about regular people. We're tired of funding these things.
Yeah, that's.
And if you try to take our kids to war anytime soon, it's going to be a problem. I mean, I don't know. They said the military is getting packed. People are signing up left and right.
Probably so.
It's going to end in that. It's going to be World War III.
I don't know.
I mean, it already is.
He's threatened. Yeah, he's threatened over a nuclear deal. They're trying to come up with a whole new nuclear deal.
Now, would it have already happened, though, and we're lucky that at least Trump's the president? Because I'm thinking we were already headed in the way of World War III.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to see how it plays out. I mean, he's threatening Iran. He's talking big, and maybe nothing at all will come of that.
Which is also kind of good because you want him to talk big.
Yeah, and so maybe it'll work out. I don't know.
But it is.
But he just looks like BB's biatch, dude. And I'm like,
I know, but like,
why are we so beholden to Israel?
Right.
Right. It's crazy.
And why?
It's money and power.
But how? How did they end up with that much money and power?
The Rothschilds set up Israel. The Rothschild family dynasty.
See, and then there's
set up Israel.
And there's a theory that that's where all the pedophiles go to when they want to get away with everything. I've heard all that, So it's very interesting. It's like, what God means to be used for good, the devil uses for evil. Because it is also strange that that's where the religion comes from, too.
Yeah.
Christianity versus Muslims. Or Islam.
Judaism.
And Judaism. Yeah, and then now it's just like...
Yeah, that was just one little holy land, and there's just all this fighting.
And it's always been that way.
It's crazy.
It's always been that way, which is really wild.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And that's where I start feeling like humanity has gone in the wrong direction.
We have. But I think that's maybe the point,
we have gone in, but I think there's been entities that have pushed humanity into the wrong direction on purpose. So,
but meaning like human beings, entities.
Yeah. I mean, like evil people, and at the behest of probably some kind of evil, spirit. You know? I'm really like, I feel like it's a battle. It's a spiritual battle.
Wild.
And people have been pushed down this road of like, it's like splitting from their spirit.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And all of these little things
so true.
to keep humanity as far from their spirit as they possibly can.
Because if we all knew collectively that we were in tune with our spirit, things would be so different. They couldn't make the kind of money they were making.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're so right, though.
Yeah, it's just,
And that's kind of what Kanye was saying, too, in that interview today. He was talking about how, we have to remember this isn't just, like, a lot, like, I know you and I just personally have struggled with this, because you're like, what kind of legacy am I going to leave? Who's going to remember, blah, blah. And he was like, this is for the kingdom. I mean, if you really take your eyes just off of just all of these worldly things, you want to be on the right side of the right side.
Yeah.
You want to be able to leave that spirit behind and that energy behind that is doing the good thing. Right? And not benefiting the evil. So, I don't know. I just thought that was...
Just see, there's a lot of powerful people that are evil as shit. Dude, and you start waking up to that. And you're like,
ooh, I heard a quote yesterday that just reminded me. Or were you there? Yes, you were. They said, what did they say? If you want to think if you want to know how God feels about money, look at the people he gives it to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's good. If you want to know how God really feels about money, look at the people he gives it to.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
That was such a poignant
what
statement.
They do with
and
it.
What they do with it.
Yeah. It's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, and that's like I had watched a video clip of Jackson Hinkle, and he was in Yemen.
Who's that?
Jackson, he's a reporter, independent reporter, works with Jimmy Dore a lot.
Like Nick Soro or whatever.
Yeah. And so he went to, he was in Yemen and he was showing the destruction and he was like, these are civilians. You guys don't have to do this. You don't have to bomb these. I don't know. I don't know, man.
See, that's given vibes like whenever we were supposed to be fighting Iran and then suddenly we bombed Saudi Arabia or whatever that was.
No, that's what this. You're thinking about the Iraq war.
Yes,
and this seems a lot of parallels to the Iraq situation.
Right, they're doing the same.
Now they're doing it to Iran, but remember there was that general that was talking about like that was this big plan. They were going to start taking out all the governments of these Middle Eastern countries in like a 7-year span or some crazy shit.
And what's even worse about it is that a lot of these Middle East countries were running perfectly fine.
Yeah, some of
before we got involved.
Dude, when I started learning more and more about Libya.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a great example.
They were a successful place.
Yeah, he was like turning that place around.
Yes,
and they keep
doing that. And they've propped a lot of like Syria. There's a lot of places that they had a successful life and government, and then we came in for whatever reasons and created terrorists.
Yeah,
terrorists.
Yes,
and then the terrorists get angry and they hurt people.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's so sad.
It's a vicious cycle, dude.
So vicious.
Those people who are, calling the shots on that don't give a shit, dude, and they're just getting wealthier and wealthier.
Well, something's going to have to come to a head though, because it's like we're all starting to see it,
Yeah.
And
people don't want it.
Unlike the desert war, what did we call it?
Desert storm.
Desert storm war, where we all were on board because we thought that 9/11 had happened, and
Well, desert storm was before 9/11.
Okay, sorry, I'm confused today. But anyway, after 9/11 happened, we were all on board. They did that whole thing, and then we all got on board to go gung ho over there. And start bombing and shooting people. Well, this time we're like,
we're kind of sitting back going, wait a second.
We've done this. It was It took 25 years to get out of that war, and look at how we left their countries and stuff.
It's the same shit.
So, do you think
this is why we need to discover how the pyramids generated so much energy, because they're fighting over oil.
I know.
Just think if we had free energy. Oh man.
It's wild. Maybe that's the whole thing. Is that we've all been here trying to. They're like, you guys need to figure out that this is all free. That at the end of the day, you could discover that this energy is all free, and you keep knocking yourselves all down and having to start over.
And fighting each. Yeah, I know.
It's wild.
I know it, dude. That's what I'm saying. The pyramid thing, I think, is bigger than what everybody realizes, because like I feel like we are on the precipice of discovering free energy.
Yeah.
And that's gonna really ruin a whole lot of people's pockets.
Yeah.
But
sure.
You know what? Like that's
just like cancer, right? I mean, we've poured all this money into trying to fight cancer. You know, they can cure cancer. I'm sure that there's ways they can do that.
I'm pretty convinced.
And it has nothing, most likely, to do with medication. It probably has everything to do with more like mushrooms and holistic things they can't make money off of.
What was it that Mel Gibson was talking to Rogan about that Ibogaine, I think?
Yeah.
And he said he has multiple friends who beat cancer with Ibogaine.
Yeah. Well, and so that was my question, like, would you stop trying to, he's going to manifest it.
I'm just saying if that were to happen.
No, I know. Holistic. But that was my thing, though. What do you think the point is? Do you think that these people, say Israel, whoever's running the show, do they think that all of the Middle East is evil, and so they're trying to take it over? Like, why do they keep...
I mean, resources maybe, and because it's a holy land. I mean, that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, get it.
Yeah, it's...
But resources would be shared if they were friends. So I wonder why they never took the steps to become peaceful with these people instead of us constantly disrupting the government.
Oh.
The government wants our resources. Well,
yeah, because they're bullies, man. They're just going in and bullying and taking resources and shit, dude. It's crazy, man. Yeah. And this is why we get people coming into our country, flooding into here, because their country's all
falling apart.
And then they hate us because of what we've done in their country. Yes. And it's terrible, dude.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's terrible, man.
Yeah.
It's everybody needs to wake up to that,
For sure.
Dude, I did see that Argentina declassified some of their documents, right? Mm-hmm. And in their documents, it talks about how Hitler had lived in Argentina.
After?
Yes.
Nah.
How he didn't die in World War II. He escaped to Argentina, which is a theory.
Yes.
And had 2 daughters down there and died as an old man.
Really?
Yes, dude. Yeah. I saw it this morning.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, dude.
Because that is a big theory.
Yeah.
Which would make total sense.
That he fled to Argentina, which a lot of them did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think we were getting a lot of their scientists from down in Argentina after they fled. You know what I mean? And that was the theory too, is why the US started fighting communism so bad, was because the Nazi regime was fighting communism. And so then we took all their Nazi scientists and they were like, we've got to fight communism. It's a theory. So, and that's why the US was so anti-communism after that. But
interesting.
I think, they just saw that communism was...
It's just a bunch of people thinking their way's the right way. And then you get too much power.
I've got the answers.
And then we're going to go force our answers down your throat, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. I've got all the... Well, yeah, so they declassified docs. This is what's really interesting is I'm really skeptical and weirded out by Pam Bondi and the whole Epstein thing.
Me too.
And I'm starting to wonder, because remember...
You know why? Because he was in Israel. He said he
well,
was
remember,
the CIA guy from Israel.
Remember Matt Gaetz was going to be the AG?
Yes. Yeah.
And then he suddenly stepped down?
Yeah.
I'm starting to think it has something to do with the Epstein files. Not that Matt Gaetz was implicit in the Epstein files, but like they wanted somebody else in there that would kind of cover a little bit better.
I don't know, but if it's true that Epstein was set up through the Israel government, that he had ties to them, because see, what I've heard that makes the most sense is that they saw that this guy was already a piece of shit, but he had been through this schooling and he was smart and he had a great IQ and all that kind of stuff, and they just watched him. And as he rose through the ranks, they watched him to see what kind of moral compass he was going to have.
Right.
And as his moral compass was messed with and the diminished, and that he probably didn't even start with the conscious anyway, or whatever you call it. They began to use him to be able to do all the things that they did.
Yeah.
Well, then they said that he worked for the Israel government. I can't remember the name.
He was working for the Mossad.
Yeah, the Mossad, and which they have a lot of sex trafficking. Their CIA. A lot of sex trafficking back and forth to Epstein and all of that kind of stuff. So if that's the case, then they would probably want to protect whoever maybe it's Netanyahu himself on that plane.
Somebody. Somebody. Yeah, that's the theory, is that he was working for the Mossad. Huh. Which is the more I learn about that, the more I kind of start to think the Mossad and the American CIA are basically the same damn entity.
It probably is, right?
You know what I mean? Like, I start thinking maybe they all just work together. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then what's England's is the MI6 is what they call their CIA.
Something like that. Yeah, the Six
Eyes like they all just work together.
They probably do.
Their own government.
Well, a global.
Yeah.
Still global.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's totally global, man.
Well, it's gotten to the point now where they have gone so far crazy that people in their gut, and that's the other thing Kanye was saying, is that you can't erase thousands of years of human programming.
History. Yeah.
You can't, when we get those gut feelings and we all as a society know something is wrong, that's because somebody can tell you who you are, somebody can program your brain, but the human spirit is going to recognize that this is bullshit.
Effed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening too.
It's like just a worldwide gut
instinct. Yeah. Like, no.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Dude. I know it, man. And then now we got Dallas has got their Jazzy Crocs. Old Jasmine Crockett. That chick's making big waves.
Oh,
it's ridiculous.
What's she doing now? I haven't.
She just has been all over the place, and then they're talking about, is she going to be the new face of the Democratic Party and this and that? But like, she's just very unprofessional, and she's doing the same thing Kamala did, where she was trying to pander to the inner city.
Yeah,
and it's like you didn't. There's a whole nother route you could go with that, where you could say, "Look, I got to grow up in the American dream." You know,
which is what Candace Owens is always saying.
Yeah, and you can too. But instead, she's like, "Oh, they're trying to hold us down."
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
and that does the opposite. It doesn't lift anybody.
Y'all haven't learned that? That doesn't work.
Yeah, I know.
Just be authentic.
Be authentic, so, and also,
I think her light's going to shine out pretty quickly.
Well, if Trump keeps going down this war path, then the Democrats will be able to get some stuff going for that, which is fine. I just want the right people in charge that will stop this crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jasmine Crockett. She's interesting. I mean, she's so cute. I don't know why she's being used like that. She's probably getting paid so much money.
Oh yeah,
you know,
she's probably.
And she sees. I think those politicians. It's more like being a rock star now.
Yeah, you see where like they're like turning into Hollywood a little bit.
And they start training for it.
I started thinking that too. I was like, these guys are starting to kind of act like they're Hollywood.
They are. They're become celebrities and they're famous and they're getting tons of money and lots of fans and as if it's like wrestling. Like if your characters are really cool and big and weird, you're gonna have fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think they've just caught on that whole Hollywood thing, which
it kind of seems like it. It kind of seems like they're thinking they're Hollywood now.
They are.
And then they're not doing shit. Except for, we're doing another rally.
Did you see, like, where Gavin Newsom, the people in California, I forgot, it was some couple, they made a song like, why does our governor have a podcast?
No, but that's
and
great.
they're like, doesn't he have things to do? But it's a whole song
about
it.
Seriously? I mean, that's what I thought. I was like, what's this guy's got a podcast?
Why does our governor have a podcast?
Yeah, don't you think you should be fixing California?
I know, and it's so messed up.
Yeah. I'm starting to see that with a lot of politicians are doing their own podcasts and all this stuff.
I'm glad that Gavin, though, I have to give him props. He has had some really...
he's had
Charlie
some
Kirk. I mean, he had him on, and he just came out and said that the Democrat Party is toxic.
Yeah, I know it. I know. He's trying to fucking slide back to the middle, dude. He's like, I gotta slide back to the middle.
Dollar signs.
If I have any chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like American politics is getting Hollywood.
Yeah. And then all the AI stuff that make them out to be superheroes. I love those. Like, there's one that I saw on, I think it was TikTok today, and it was like Trump in an American costume as a big, strong AI, superhero, and then it showed like France's guy, and then Putin, and I don't know. But they're making these people out to be bigger than they are. And but not really, because they can get really rich off being a politician now.
Yeah,
where
I know.
You used to not be able to do that.
You're not supposed to be able to.
I wouldn't think so.
They're all filthy rich when they get out of office, and before they get out of office. Yeah. And I wish I would have realized that. I would have been a politician.
Gosh, you have to really. Can you imagine the hustle it takes, though?
Yeah.
Because then you got to start off in just like a little place like Grapevine, and work your way up that system. Some people are.
You got to actually get out there and go door to door.
And kiss so many asses.
Yeah. I work for you.
Yeah.
I'd rather be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jasmine Crockett, but there was somebody else that
AOC.
No, yeah, she's been around lately. I don't know, she's kind of losing her steam, I think.
Yeah, it almost seems like the Democratic Party is doing kind of like back, years back that the Republican Party had that Tea Party movement.
Yes.
And it was kind of like grassroots.
Yeah.
Seems like the Democratic Party's splitting off like that in a sense.
Yeah. Whatever. Well, and that was the other theory, is whatever makes us, I mean, that's kind of what we're saying, like whatever molds us to be the best versions of ourselves, you know what I mean? If the Democrat Party implodes on itself, then maybe they'll get back to.
Yeah, back to. Yeah. Who knows, dude? It's they're a mess, dude. Chuck Schumer they're still up his ass about him, resigning, and.
Yeah.
But he's a dinosaur, dude. I mean, I get it, dude. You motherfuckers is old, dude.
Yeah.
Y'all been doing this for
I know.
way too long.
I haven't really seen a lot of the latest stuff about the politicians lately. I mean, I watched like Elon and Trump. I try to watch anything he holds. If I can, but he started saying that stuff about war and Iran's going to be sorry.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell?
What does this mean? What is going on here?
What are you doing?
What's with the obsession with Iran?
Yeah, and why are we talking about war?
And it's all because of the, situation in Gaza. I know. So it's like, here we go. This dude is dragging. It's like they're destined to put the U.S. in war.
Yeah, they are.
In NATO and.
Yeah. China and Iran hooking up.
It's the last
and
thing that they want to do, dude. They're like, we're gonna get the U.S. into war.
Yeah. Well, and I always say that, we've been real spoiled brats sitting over here not having to have it on our own soil.
Yeah.
And I think that's about to change real quick. I think that drone war is real.
Yeah.
And they're killing people with drones now, and they don't even have to be there. They can just do it without having
remote control.
Yeah. Yeah, so who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows what's going to happen?
I don't either.
Have you seen all the fun stuff about, I love talking about the Baldwins and their new show, and how do you say her name? Hilaria. Yeah.
No.
They're just making the rounds because she's so crazy. It's so funny. The way that she talks and tries to be. And then Your Mama's House, they had some stuff on there about her, and they were like, well, some people just really like other cultures, And I'm like, that's impressive to like it that much that you're a Boston girl that
wants to be Latina.
Spanish, yeah.
From Spain.
Yes.
From Spain.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, I've seen that though. I've seen people do that where they're like I knew one dude who was like so really into Russian culture, and it was very strange. Yeah.
Maybe they were in their past life. They were Russian.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Some reasons.
Yeah.
Some reasons, but yeah, Trump looks like Netanyahu's bitch.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That's my major criticism.
What is the latest thing? Do you know? Like, are they saying they're talking about peace still, or because didn't they just bomb?
Yeah,
again?
they bombed some more or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Trump said on TV the other day that it was like 2,600 people, men a week dying from both sides.
Which what is that? Ukraine?
Ukraine and Russia war. Yeah, he's saying that they're losing like thousands a week.
Yeah, he's pissed off at Putin now. Supposedly, I don't know about. I think that they're not coming to an agreement quicker.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. He just said, "I'm pissed at Putin."
Yeah, which is fine. He says all kinds of weird stuff.
Whatever.
But I just don't. I don't know. I haven't really paid any attention. It's so sad, So it's like, and I thought that he was getting there. I thought we were about to have a peace deal.
Yeah.
So I guess in the last week, that's changed.
Seems like people aren't working with each other, and I mean, you had that whole situation with Zelensky and them getting into it at the Oval Office and stuff. So it's just.
But those people did back down. They came out the day after, and they were all making fun of Trump and acting like they weren't going to come to the table and all that crap. And Canada's guy was trying to be tough. They all succumbed to the tariffs and all of that kind of stuff. So he does, he usually knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure he's got to kind of sit back and watch. I did watch the interview with that. What's his? What the lady?
Laura?
No. It was the interview. Oh yeah, it was her, and she was interviewing. What's her name? The quiet lady that ran the campaign.
Oh, the white-haired lady?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen her talk at all.
Yeah, it was the first
she cool?
interview. She was with Laura Trump. Oh. Yeah, she was cool. It was a good interview, man.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, she's. Oh my God, Susie Wiles.
Susie, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how I knew that. I just guessed. She looked like a Susie in my head.
Susie Wiles. Yeah. Yeah, I saw an interview with her. Yeah, she's very just straight to business.
Yeah.
Straight to biz.
Yeah.
Doesn't need all the
hoopla.
Yeah.
And accolades.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird time, but I don't know. It's just interesting. I can't wait to see what happens.
Sit back and watch. See if we go to war. I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's my criticisms right now.
It is inevitable because once it's been put out into the atmosphere, that's the way that it's going to unfold. I mean, to me, it feels like that's what all the leaders of the world are pushing towards.
You were supposed to be a non-war candidate.
Peace, so I don't
know. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see
what happens, man.
Yeah.
Thus, when you zoom out and you look at the whole situation, and you're like we were just discussing, where like the U.S. goes in, they take and pillage everybody's resources, destroy those countries, and those countries, create terrorists, and then those terrorists come into here, and then shit like 9/11 happens, and it's like, Kim, you guys obviously see the cycle,
right?
Come on now.
Yeah, if I'm in therapy to recognize my patterns, how come they aren't?
Yeah. Come on, U.S., recognize your patterns.
Yeah.
So it's just it's frustrating, honestly.
It is.
It's really frustrating.
And then at the same time, you've got all of us within the country that are frustrated and watching things unfold. So it's definitely like a churning.
Yeah.
Like the whole world's like,
dude,
we got to do something different.
Come on, meow.
Yeah.
Come on, meow. We'll sit back and watch and see what else happens, man.
Okay. Let's do it.
Discuss it further.
Real quick, I wanted to talk about the I just remembered the Muslim city that I sent you.
Yeah, in Dallas.
There was this where they're trying to build this Muslim city, which I mean
it's a whole city.
It's a whole city, and it's would be all Muslim owned, and it's, I guess, perfectly legal to do that. I didn't know you could do that, but apparently it's, perfectly legal. But that's something to watch out for too, just because it's strange. It's strange to not acclimate into a society and instead.
Yeah, and that's a big
deal.
Topic of conversation is people who, migrate into countries and instead of acclimating to their
way of life,
their culture.
Yeah. Or at least having respect for it.
They want to try to force all those people to live in their culture.
Right.
And that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to work.
I just thought that was really neat and interesting that they're actually talking about building a Muslim city.
Muslim city.
Within Plano, Texas. So
that's
interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys.
Well, appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. And keep liking Unfringed and making comments.
Take care.
Bye.
Deuces.